Hey Leapers! Welcome back to Volume 1, Episode 3 of Ask My Momma. We have my beautiful mother here again, Agnes McDonald. I'm Nikita McDonald, the CEO and founder of Leap of Faith. And today we're going to be talking about, today I'm going to be asking my mom, what are some of the qualities that we should look for in a mate? So Mom, what are some of the things we should look for in a mate before getting married?
Now, I believe that we have to check the genetic background.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, some family carry a lot of baggage.
Okay, come on.
Example, they could be somebody that they have stealing in their family, and you could trace it from generation to generation, or being a bad husbands, like they desert their wives, or sometimes like they don't care for their family. Sometimes like the woman have to do everything within her powers, and the man just living, but he's actually dead.
So you're talking about your spiritual genetics, the spiritual genes, because not only things that come down through the physical or the natural, like health-wise or things like that, but there are characteristic traits that can also be passed down from generation to generation. That's interesting, because a lot of people definitely don't think about that. So you definitely should want to know the background of the
family. Because there are a certain group of people that I would not name at this time. They have a certain sickness that goes on in that race. And sometimes, like when they have daughters and they have to get married, they research the background of the family, because that disease, they can die maybe within couple of years, like young. So they trace back, they go and they check out the background of the family before their kids get married. So we have to be very careful, not just picking up somebody and getting married to them. Now in Christianity, if that person comes from a background where you have wicked husbands or wicked wives, in Christianity, if you surrender your all to God, that can be diminished. So in the case of Christianity, it could be different. All depends if you are a surrendered Christian.
Okay. So there goes one point. We have the spiritual discernment, the spiritual genetics discernment. I will also even go as far to also talk about the natural, because sometimes you don't think about that, but if someone has breast cancer, the trait, it could be passed down. I don't think that should be the sole reason of you deciding if you should marry a person or not. But it's just something to be aware of, to just get a better understanding of what you may be, prostate cancer, to get a better understanding of what you may be walking into, and so I'll definitely talk on that. What else would you say? I would also say maybe finances.
Yes, some people, they could make a lot of money, but they cannot accumulate. And
they don't know how to manage it.
They don't know how to manage.
Yes.
But in the case of a husband and a wife, the wife have to be sensitive enough. If the husband cannot save, then she should be the one, not, you could say, in control of the finance. Likewise, if the wife like to spend, the husband could be the one that will try to save that money. So it's it goes both ways.
I would also say going as far as asking them what's their credit score, because that's something you have to be able to you have to be aware of. It's a reflection. It's not the sole decision making thing of getting, but I feel like you should definitely ask, what's their credit score, or looking at their financial report card to see how they, like you said, manage their money. Because you're right, some people can make it and some people can't maintain it.
Yeah.
And we've all made financial mistakes in the past, but it's something you should be mindful of in regards to if you're planning to build a family, and if two people are becoming one, then you have to figure out what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses in the relationship, and how you guys can collaborate and make it work as a team in order to make a successful marriage. And I feel like a lot of people, they just, sometimes you get married, but you don't think about those things until after you get married. It's like, oh my God, like, I didn't know he or she was like that, because you were just focused maybe just on the physical, or at that honeymoon stage of knowing that person. So therefore, you didn't really think that, you fail to realize that there's more things you should look into.
Yeah, because
before.
there are a lot of questions you could ask, family, friends. Back in the Caribbean, it's a small neighborhood, so you could easily get, to know somebody even before you start dating them or thing like that, because it's a small community and you could get certain information. But here in America, based on where you live, you might meet somebody maybe in a restaurant or on the train or the park, wherever, and they could give you one side of the story, but there could be a lot of things that you might not get to know about that individual. But maybe after they introduce you to family or friends, you could ask them certain questions. What about this guy? How is his work ethics? Because work ethics is very important, because there are men that just like to sleep and send the woman out to work.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise, there are some women, they don't like to work. Even if they could, they don't want to. They prefer to stay home. And even when they stay home, they don't even get housework done. Maybe they get hooked on some television program, and when the husband comes, he might have to go cook, maybe even wash, So it's a lot of stuff, and it goes, as I said before, both ways.
So what do you think, like, what was like some of the conversation that you had with Dad before getting married? Like, did you?
Well, I knew he was a good tailor. Even if he had little flaws, but he was a very good and neat tailor. He took pride in his job. And like when he met me, it seems as though he was kind of irresistible. Even if he met
child, okay.
Even if he met many women before, but I guess maybe how I speak to him and my mindset, he was fascinated about that. So it's like,
you went deep, huh?
He didn't have a second thought. It's like, that's the person I'm looking for. For me, I was a little bit skeptical, a little bit scared, because getting into this marriage business or dating, whatever, as a Christian, you have to be very careful. But I remember he promised, he said 1 year, after 1 year, I'm going to marry to you. Which was kind of quick. I think in 4 months we got engaged, and in about a year or a little after a year we got married. But he was a good man in the sense of taking care of the family.
Okay.
He was very good. He had certain habits that was hindering him, which I won't really at this moment go into details. But he was very good when paying like the rent or certain bills. We didn't have to worry about that. Things could have been better, I would say, but he was a good man.
Yes, I agree. Hey, Daddy. You looking at us. So I was watching the video. I was having a phone conversation with one of my girlfriends, and she sent me a video on Instagram, and it's crazy how we were just talking about that. And basically the person in the video said the 3 F's is what you should look for before deciding a spouse.
The three what?
F's.
Okay.
Faith, family, and finances.
Faith, family, and finances.
Yes, who's leading the household in regards to, are you guys both equally yoked, or do you guys have the same spiritual beliefs?
Of course, it's very important. Very important.
Family, again, like, is he transparent about his family background, or is she transparent about her family background? Again, spiritual discernment, spiritual gene discernment in the natural as well. And then again, finances, your credit score. Can you guys help each other multiply? Are you guys good in a partnership? You know, I do definitely believe that if you're going to get married, always get married for love, because you have to be able to know, with this person, would I be able to go to the depths? If we're both poor, am I still full? Because I have this person beside me. So love is definitely one of the foundation of it.
The foundation.
And again, I would say love, again, is the fruits of the spirit: love, joy, peace, faith, gentleness, goodness, meekness, temperance, long suffering. So that is what is described biblically wise, you know. So I definitely feel like that should definitely be the core and foundation. But also, you have to look at the other aspects in regards to when you're choosing a spouse. And also, if you plan to have kids, because I've seen like one relationship, I forgot what celebrity it was, but he always told her he didn't want children, and she at the time thought she didn't want kids, and then eventually she seen her sister have a child, and she fell in love with being the aunt so much that she eventually changed her mind, and the relationship ended up dissolving because of the fact that he was still, he's still in his belief that he didn't want to have kids. Yeah, so I definitely feel like, you know, you need to like sometimes be transparent with that spouse. Have the conversation.
It's very important.
Have it. It can only benefit you, and that's come with wholeness and healing, knowing who you are, because you have to be. Some people would slide away from the conversation because they don't want to lose the person, or they already assume what they're gonna say or what they're gonna think without even having the conversation. So therefore, you keep it in. You get married, and now here comes all these pop-ups and things in the relationship that if you had the conversation and had a deeper mindset, you guys could have both saved each other time.
Not only that, there are certain things in a relationship that you should not hide, because if it is revealed later down, like in marriage, it can cause division. So there are certain things, especially concerning your body, what experience you had before. Maybe you had a miscarriage, you aborted a baby. Certain things you need to make known, because down the line, some of these things could come up, and it could cause like division. They could say, "Oh, why did you keep it away from me? Why you keep it as a secret?" And now, you know, medically, certain things might reveal down the line, and the relationship could be jeopardized.
I definitely agree. So you guys, if you're planning to get married, if you have that spouse, that mate, I definitely feel like you guys should definitely have that conversation. I'm not married yet. That's why I have my mom, who actually did death do us part with my dad to give me advice. And I feel like definitely have that conversation. I definitely do believe following the 3 F's: faith, family, and finances. And just, you know, go out there, put God first, and leave it in His hands.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Leapers. So that's the end of episode 3. What you should look for in a spouse before you get married. I hope this helps someone. Thank you, Mommy, for doing this with me again. And you guys have a good evening. Bye.
Heartache, heartbreak, pain, that's the only song we sing. That's the only thing life seems to bring.